Welcome to the forest. It's August 2nd, 2024, and I've come up to Manning Park to do a hike that I haven't done in nearly 40 years, or at least to go to a spot that I haven't been to in that long. So I'm going up Windy Joe, so that's that way along the Similkameen River and then up the mountain, which is kind of hidden by the trees, but it's over there. And I'm gonna find a spot to camp. There is a campsite up there, and hopefully I'll get a view. I've started really late in the day today. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I usually start in the morning, but this is a different kind of day for me, and we'll have to see how this one plays out. So we're at a little side creek, and this is the old bridge. As you can see, it's a little sketchy. And this is the new bridge that they've just built. Brand new for this year. This old bridge, I went up 2 years ago. It was like this in the winter with 4 feet of snow on top of it. You could barely tell where to walk. And it was, probably not the safest. So they put in this brand new wide bridge, and it's a marked improvement over the last one. Taking a 5-minute break at the trail junction. So this goes up Windy Joe, is up that way. The Similkameen River Trail goes that way, but I'm going up that way for a ways, for another 4 kilometers maybe. And this is where the climbing starts, so I thought I would give myself just a break. It's been, comfortable 35 minutes, and I am done all the flat stuff. So now comes the climb, and it should be good. So it's 7 o'clock. It took me 3 hours to get here, and I set up camp and then made dinner. Dinner was rustic 3-cheese sausage lasagna from Alpine Air. It's not lasagna. It uses rotini noodles. It was a paste, mediocre at best. But I ate it because that's what I had, and not regretting it yet. We'll see how I feel in the morning. It's gotten cooler now, which is lucky because it was quite warm and muggy today. So it has gotten cooler, and the bugs have, for the most part, settled down for the night. So I'm gonna clean up the dinner mess, like one pot, and then cache my food in that food cache right over there, which is nicely provided by Parks. And then I'm going to read a book for a while, and then that pretty much knocks out my night. The trees here all look like they're sunburned. They're not. That's just how they look, because all the tips of the branches are dead. And all the trees. All the trees are like that, particularly the little ones. But I learned that that is because there is an insect infestation, and it's a type of moth that does this damage. And it's really made the forest dry, or drier than normal even, and probably really susceptible to fire and damage. So I've been on the trail this morning for an hour now, and I stopped by this little creek right here, this one, for a snack. Having some barbecue peanuts and some water that I filtered this morning, so I don't have to filter it here. It's just easier usually to do it in bulk. And yeah, it's quite a nice morning. I've met 3 people so far and would expect to meet more. And yeah, clear blue sky. And I deliberately waited until like later on in the morning to get started today, because then I would be in the shade for most of the way back. So hopefully that works out the way I think. Stopped for lunch. I'm having wrap with cheese, pepper salami, and lettuce that I took from the garden at home. It's an alternative to sandwiches, which I usually have. This is a nice trail. It's well maintained. It's well used. There's only one drawback to it, and that is that for about 4 kilometers it runs more or less parallel with the freeway or the highway, and on long weekends like this is, there's a lot of traffic, and because the valley is not very wide, it echoes a little bit, and so it's less than pleasant in terms of noise. But aside from that, this is a lovely trail. Back to the Long Bridge. This goes over a little marshy area. And the reason the marshy area is here is because of that. The beavers have been at work. There's one there. There's another one, hard to see, but just past that first fallen log. Yeah, and they made this pond. Well, I'm back at the truck. It's 1:35. So I made it down in just under 3 hours. That's good. And that included half-hour lunch, so that's pretty good. Just doing the usual post-trip wrap-up, changing my shoes, having some water, just preparing for the drive home. It's been a good trip.